Cool.
Awesome, mate. Kirk, thank you so much for joining us, mate. I really appreciate your time, and it's been a great I think just over like 5 weeks working together. It seems really short, to be honest with you, but
Hmm.
I'm just excited to chat to you because of how much you've achieved in those kind of 5 6 weeks and how much your business has grown. So mate, I'd just love for you to kind of share with people, I guess, a bit about your business and then sort of what you've been doing before even jumping in to work with me.
Yeah, sure. So obviously, I've been in the e-commerce space for about 3 years now, and it's taken me about 2 years to really start seeing the light on the other end. Um, I probably spent maybe that 2 years working for three different jobs just to get some sort of financial stability. Just trying to sell some products that were a bit of an idea, I guess you'd say. So I'm in the furniture space where we do a lot of floor protection and whatnot. So uh, we were thankfully starting to see the other end where we're making some decent sales, and I thought that there's no better time than to find a mentor, and I came across you. And thankfully, after we've had a chat and started embracing the community that you've created, um, we found support in other ways of making better sales. And we found that email marketing was something that we were lacking. Facebook was something that we were lacking. And potentially just all these other sort of areas or avenues that we could have used to really start spiking sales a bit more early on. But as we start progressively moving on forward and start doing that, we started seeing big spikes where we'd get more consistent days. So we're starting to hit sort of $1,000 days every day, and from where we were getting maybe $1,000 once in a blue moon every 3 months or something like that. So it's been a bit of a life-changing situation for me, and I'm very thankful for Will's abilities to help and share, and the support of the team that we've got behind in the group chat. We're all out there just helping each other, giving each other fantastic ideas and what's the benefits of doing said than rather doing this. And it's just like shortcuts. It's just shortcuts, and they help you so much. It saves you time and money. So that's also a very big thing. But yeah, just I can't say so much more about it. It's been a really good experience. So I'm
Thanks,
really
Matt.
thankful for it. So that's all
Yeah,
right.
no, I mean, I honestly have just been super impressed with your progress, and I think that I noticed it right from the beginning, just that your attitude and willingness to learn is literally like your biggest strength, right? And I see that a lot with successful entrepreneurs. Is it's like they firstly jump in headfirst and commit 100%, and then secondly, they just have abilities to absorb information and learn it and really make it their business to understand everything, right? Even if they have things that are outsourced or whatever it might be, to become a full stack business owner is so important to understand every element of your business. And that's where we a lot of us do start. Like as you know, our story starting from the kitchen bench and hardly making any money for a few years and just bootstrapping it the entire way. But that's we had the similar attributes with just the willingness to learn and the willingness to execute and take on like advice. Really, I think that in itself is having the humility that you don't know everything, and we still profess that.
Hmm.
We still have mentors ourselves in that space, and we take directions and execute what we're told, basically.
That's
So
it.
that's where you've done amazingly well. And so yeah, man, so where were you revenue wise coming in? I can't remember. And where did you get to
So
last month?
so coming in, we probably maybe scaled to I think $20,000 for the month. That was a life-changing moment for us um, at the beginning, and so thus when we met you and started implementing a bit more of your strategies, we're now at a 50 grand month. So it's been an incredibly big jump for from one month to the next, and it's a bit surreal, and it's obviously very very busy nowadays. But it's a good busy and it's a good stress. But yeah, it's those are sort of the sort of leaps and bounds that you kind of come to expect when you sort of work with a team as well as Will, and really start to learn as much as you can and take in everything as you will. And just start progressing a bit further with your business, it just starts to rocket off. As
Yeah.
well, if you got a willing to learn, you'll definitely make it there for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the sort of jumps that we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, that's huge, man. And obviously it's onwards and upwards. When we hit that first 100K month, it'll be amazing again and continuing on from there. But it just does give you the, I suppose, realization that like it can, like these things can be done. It's hard when we're running our own businesses to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, or, the forest for the trees, when we're kind of
Yes,
running
there's
it day to
definitely
day.
days where you see your bank account just go down and down and down, and you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna quit, I'm just gonna quit. But something happens in your head, and you just think, nah, it's I've worked too hard for it. I've got to make something happen. And
Yeah.
yeah, like we all struggle with times in our lives where things feel like it's the end of the world, but us as human beings, we are pretty good at bouncing back from things. So as some people say, it's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. So
I
that's
totally, I
the
totally get that, man. And yeah, as you say, we've all been through the peaks and troughs, particularly the troughs of business. But what I'm even seeing with businesses that we're working with in our community and that I speak to, most days, is like I just have this complete confidence and conviction in that once you've got an idea or a business validated and you got some, even just a little bit, like some runs on the board with like a small little effort, like your Google ads or like your organic or like your influencer marketing or whatever it might be. Like I have complete conviction that you can have a successful business with the right roadmap. Like I literally say it all the time to the guys in our community that success becomes inevitable. Like I just have that wholehearted belief, having been through it ourselves, almost shutting down the business 3 or 4 times because we lost hope or whatever, and being able to rectify it. Right. It could have gone like this, but instead we decided to take it like this, just by pushing through. Now that was a lot longer and arduous than hopefully what you guys go through, because I'm passing on all those lessons, of course. But
mm.
I just definitely believe that with most people, it becomes inevitable, and it's simpler than what we make it out to be, which is again one of the most sort of gratifying, satisfying things when
And
we.
sometimes it is simple. It's just something we overlook. We think that everything needs to be super advanced and needs to be the top of the line of whatever. But half the time, it is just very simple implementations that do the best results, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's only early days and already seeing tremendous results already. So I'm looking forward to the rest of it and scaling it even further. So um,
totally,
I have
man.
no doubt we'll get there
Yeah,
with your
100%.
sort of assistance and knowledge. So.
100%, man. I appreciate that. Just before we jump off, man, I'd love to hear just, I guess, a couple of, really key sort of takeaways from you, just about being involved in the program, the community, and I suppose what, you might see or say, rather, knowing what you do now about being in the inner sanctum, you could say, to people who might be, on the other end right now, like where you kind of were not even that long ago. Like, what are kind of the key takeaways, and I guess, what you'd say to those people?
So obviously, one of the biggest things for me was procrastinating. I was just thinking too long and hard about anything, and you think you have to get all these things done within a matter of days. And all I would ever say, if I were back in my shoes 3 or 4 years ago, is just to start somewhere, do something first, just one thing at a time. It's just getting 1% better every day, and that's all it is. Um, everything else starts to fall in, gradually. So, make sure you get some sort of base income coming in so you can power your hobby through. So, like me, I made this a hobby, not a chore, and eventually became to a point where it started giving me some good income. So, I love the e-commerce space. I love working online. I love my clients. I love everything about it. It gives you that flexibility and freedom. And I think until you get that one sale, it really changes your perspective on how to really start flying. And one day it will happen. Just got to keep trial and error with different products. Give it a go. You'll just see one day it'll make a result, and you'll go, "That's it. That's the one that I need." But yeah, it's just stop procrastinating. Just try one thing. Just give it a go first, and then everything else will start falling into place.
Absolutely, man. I love
So
it.
definitely.
And what about the community that you're a part of now? Any sort of
Yeah,
thoughts on
and
that you
the
could share?
community, right? So a lot of the people that we're in this group with now, I think it kind of holds you a bit accountable, right? So when you have the days where you feel a bit lazy, you feel like you don't want to do anything anymore, um, you see all the messages coming through on the group chat, and you realize that everybody else is still hustling out there trying to make a buck, and you're sitting here kind of doing nothing, and you're thinking, I can't do it. I've got to keep committed to, driving the sales and um, building something for myself and my family or whoever it is that you aspire to look after. Um, Seeing this community of people just sort of giving, got your back, looking after you, and sort of giving you free advice, and giving them a fair experience on things that could be tough and confusing to you as well. Like um, tax for me was a big thing. I don't know anything about it, but I'm learning through it. But I've had many of the people in the group chat that have helped support me and helped me to explain exactly what is needed to do to better myself with all my tax and look after all my employees that I've got now. So it's a big thing, and you can't look past it. But this is something that you'll be looked after when you see everybody in the group chat, and they'll give you free support and help you out regardless of where they are in life.
Beautiful, man. No, that's a great summary. Thanks for sharing that. It's one of those things. Before I joined sort of my first community, I didn't realize the actual benefit of it. And then being in it and then seeing what I wanted to create with the ecom blueprint, it was like, it was very aspirational for me, just seeing how it was impactful on me. And as you rightly said, having people going through similar things, similar issues, or even things that you haven't even thought about right now, and seeing them come out the other side and, creating the right habits and routines, it definitely just keeps you motivated, because like entrepreneurship's a lonely game, right? And it's very,
Yes.
you can really get inside your own head being in Facebook groups and other groups where you're not directly associated with people, and just get paranoid about, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing the right things, and then just go off on these tangents. And that's so detrimental to your progress and staying in your lane. So that's where communities like this just are so powerful. And yeah, man, it's just my greatest joy seeing everybody in there and interacting and supporting each other. So amazing to
Definitely.
have you in there as well.
Thank you so
But
much. I appreciate it.
dude, appreciate you. Thanks so much for the chat.
You're most welcome.
All right, man.